All right, everyone, welcome and to our fortnightly group coaching call. So today's topic is managing your business using KPIs. Now, I know a lot of you do use KPIs in your business. So what I want to take you through is just explain what KPIs are very quickly, why they're important, and I'm going to share some common KPIs that I use with clients. And then at the end, I want to really open up the discussion and find out what you're doing in your business, what sort of numbers you're tracking, and how it's helping you in your business. Okay. All right. So as per always, we'll go through the training session and then we'll open it up for discussion and then just review how your business is going over the last couple of weeks. And if there's any other topics, issues that you want to discuss and get help with. All right, so as I said, today's topic is all about managing your business using KPIs. And as you can see from this slide, KPIs stands for Key Performance Indicators. So as you know, I really focus on knowing the numbers and encouraging my clients to know the numbers in their business. And it's not just about understanding the end result, which is your profit and loss statement, for example, which shows you what result you've achieved over the month. But it's about understanding the key numbers that drive the business. All right. So when I take you through some examples, it will become clearer if you're not across this type of topic. So why is it important? So obviously we want to get the right result at the end of the day, but we really need to understand what activity is going to get us the right result. And I always tell people that business is like a game. All right, so whether you follow tennis or whether you follow the rugby or whatever sport you follow, you know that there's obviously a result at the end of the day. Now that's this scoreboard, but there's a lot of other stats. So when a team reviews their performance and why they did well, why they didn't do well, where they can improve, they can't just look at the end score. They need to break it down and work out, well, what are the different stats telling us? You know, how much time do we have in possession? You know, how many unforced errors we made? You know, how many aces? So there's all of these different stats that help a player or a team become better or identify where they need to improve and become better in those areas. And KPIs are exactly the same. There's no point just looking at the end result, your profit and loss statement, or the cash in the bank even. It's about understanding, well, what are the key drivers of the business? And each business is very different. And then work out, well, how do you tweak the numbers to improve the result? Okay. All right, so here's some common KPIs, and I'll take you through a spreadsheet that I use as well to help track KPIs for clients. So these are some examples of KPIs. You know, you've got things like the number of leads or inquiries you're receiving every week or every month, what sort of return. So the ROI is the return on investment on your marketing. So you might be spending money on newspaper advertising, on Google AdWords, on you know, even spending time at networking events. You know, what sort of return are you getting on all of those? I'm a big believer in building your database. Now, it's not relevant for every business, but for a lot of businesses, it's about building your database, nurturing those, you know, those contacts, and even at the end of the day, when you want to sell your business, then a database can be quite a lot of value to the purchaser. So tracking how many are on your database, how to build that, and same with your social media followers. On the sales side, you know, how many appointments are being held, how many demos of equipment, for example. So I've got a client who imports printing equipment and sells that, and they give demonstrations to customers. So they track how many they're doing, because the more demos they have, they know the more sales they're going to get. Obviously, number of quotes, your conversion rate. So quote, how many of those quotes convert to customers, the value of your pipeline as well. And then there's all sorts of production measures. It could be volume of goods in production. It could be the amount of jobs that you've got scheduled coming up in the next few weeks to install, how much costs errors are costing you and rework. And then there's some financial measures such as debtors, how many of those are old, over 60 days, for example. Your expenses as a percentage of revenue. I always find this one a good one. And I know quite a few of you, I run through your P&Ls with you every month. And it's no good just looking at expenses over time, especially if you compare years, it's no point really looking at just the dollar figures. If your business is growing, then you need to look at wages as a percentage of revenue, for example. If your business doubles from one year to the next, then you really need to make sure those wage ratios as a percentage of revenue are right. Freight, a whole range of things that will track as your business grows and grow as your business grows. But it's about making sure they don't get out of kilter with that growth. And then things like, what is your break-even point? I'm not going to go through that too much today. It's really understanding what sort of revenue you need to achieve each week or each month to cover your costs, but also to hit different profit targets that you might have. All right, so there's some examples of KPIs. And then I've got this, this simple spreadsheet that I use. I'll actually flick over to it. I've got it open here. So you should be able to see that up on the screen. It's a simple weekly tracking spreadsheet that I use. Now, all of these down here aren't relevant to everyone. So these are, effectively those standard ones that I shared in the previous slide. And we'll modify these for every business. So Bryony and Ben with the raw dog food business, we're yet to kick off properly, but we will work out, well, what are the key numbers that you need to track, and then track that each week or each month, depending on what makes sense for the business. And then it's just really just adding to that every week, okay, and then just keeping a track of that. Now I've got other clients who have tracked this for many months, and they can then graph that. They can see trends. They can have look at relationships between the different KPIs. So it's just a very simple tool. Instead of having something like a monthly dashboard, just a simple tool to track it every week and just keep it rolling. Okay, so that's really my very quick presentation on KPIs. So what I might do is just get you all to unmute yourself. So I might just invite you to do that, or everyone that can anyway. And I'd love to just go around the room, especially for the clients that are a bit more experienced. They've been doing this for a little while, and just share what sort of numbers you're tracking. Just maybe the top, you might only have one, but the top, 2 or 3 numbers that you're tracking, and how is it helping you to run your business, improve your business, achieve the right results.